Welcome to Beyond Understood, o podcast para alunos de inglês que já conseguem se comunicar, mas querem ir além de apenas serem entendidos. In this episode, I talk to Renata about higher education, and between one question and another, I give feedback on the things that I liked and things that we can improve about her English. Se você gostou do meu método e quer experimentar na pele, junte-se ao meu Speaking Club. Você pode saber mais em leapfubia.com/club. Enjoy the podcast. So, what did you study at uni, and why did you choose it?
So I choose to study on my undergrad course on biological science, and probably I choose this course because I had a really good teacher on mid school, and she was really in love with about the biological science, and so probably it was about that.
Oh, so you went to med school.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to say mid school. I think it's high school. It's more like high
Okay.
school. Yes.
Yeah, you have middle school, which is before high school, and then we have what we would consider high school, and then
Okay. So it's on high
university.
school. Yeah.
Okay. Biological sciences. So was it really just because of the teacher?
It was. I think it's the first person who showed it to me, like who really is biology, and what really is biology. And I remember like it was today that we got this frog, and we opened this frog, and like yes, and we can saw the heart beating. And I thought that, and I saw that, I think, wow, I can learn more about that. And then I chose it to do biological.
You opened the frog, and the frog was alive.
Yeah, on that time, it was a long time ago, it was allowed to. Now we cannot do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels a bit inhuman
Yes.
to do that. But
Today we cannot do this anymore with vertebrates. Yeah, do you know the animals who have this kind of bones?
mm-hmm.
Bonds, yes. Today is not allowed anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I just said inhuman, should have been inhumane.
Inhumane.
Like something that a good human should not do. So put it here. Inhumane.
Yeah.
And we talked about different kinds of schools, right? So we do have high school, middle school, and before that we have elementary school.
Elementary school, yeah.
You have like preschool and things like that.
So it's elementary school, not elementary.
Yeah, elementary.
Elementary.
But let's see if it is possible. So if you're ever in doubt about the pronunciation of something, you can come to the dictionary and check.
Okay.
So here we have both. So elementary. So I pronounced it this way with the stress in the man. Oh no, seems like it is the case that it's both. Let's double check.
Elementary. Elementary.
Elementary.
Yeah, so the stress is in the same. Elementary. So I was right.
It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Dictionary.
Cambridge Dictionary. So every time you see someone tell me in on Instagram that I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about, you can know now that, well, he actually checked the dictionary before he made the video, so then the dictionary is wrong. So
Twice, and he did that twice.
yeah, I always do that.
Kinds of English.
Yeah. There you go. So at uni, I studied English literature. In Portuguese, we would say letras. And essentially, I really just chose it because I didn't want to do anything else. And I didn't want to do anything. So I just wanted to be rich and not have to work, but that was not a possibility. So I picked the thing I thought was the easiest one for me because it was going to be either English or history because those were my two best subjects. And then I thought, well, but if it's history, I'll still have to study. But if it's English, I already know how to speak, so that is fine. So it was the laziness that got me to go to English. But then I didn't start enjoying it, so that was done.
How was your experience with English since you were a child? Like you got English classes since you were a child?
Depends on what you consider a child. I guess we can say I started in my adolescence. So when I was a teenager, I started, I think I was like 12 or 13.
Okay,
I
Silvio,
had,
too old to learn
Hmm?
English. It's like old. I don't know. I think when you started when you were a kid, more kids than adolescents, you can learn until you are learning Portuguese like this. So you can be like you can learn the two languages and it can be easy. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know.
Um,
I started to learn English when I was 5 or 6. Yeah, but then I just stopped it when I went to the university.
yeah, what are the benefits of starting young? Is that it's easier to absorb. So you need less practical advice. Just being around it, you can learn. That's why children, they move to a different country, and after a year, they are speaking the language.
Yes.
You can learn it older. And to be fair, 12, 13 is still a good time to do it. I
Yes, I can see.
still, yeah, but I still had bad habits, speaking and pronunciation, that I fixed by when I was studying. I was doing my grad course, so it wasn't perfect, but it was already a very good thing. And to be fair, if you start like when you're 5 and it's just going to an English school twice a week, it's not that useful as people think, to be honest, because the children, they barely speak Portuguese in the first place. So what they're going to learn in English school is they're barely going to speak English. Anyway, it's like a month of learning colors. And
Yes.
it is useful, but it might not be the best investment of money if you have other concerns for your child. Maybe,
Yes,
wait a
for
little
sure.
bit more and then make up time for it.
Yes, you're right. But I can remember right now, like some songs that we used to sing
Mm-hmm.
in my English class when I was really, really young. Yes.
Mm,
And
sing one.
sometimes these conversations that we used to talk about, I swear, I can remember like the whole conversation.
And now I want to
Picture
listen. What is the song that you remember?
the song.
Yeah,
Well,
you said you remember it.
I
I can't
remember
say you
the
don't
one
remember.
like I don't know this word in English, but like when you have this marketing on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So it was from the mail. De janeiro, mãos. We used to talk this. Yeah, and we have this conversation like it was two girls that want to play outside, and the
Mm-hmm.
one knocks on the other's house, and the mothers open the house, and she said, "Mrs. Taylor, can Cat come out and play?" And Mrs. Taylor said, "Oh, I'm awfully sorry, dear, but Cat still has a lot of homework to do." and what
Mm-hmm.
and it was with this sound, and I have like 8 or 9 years, I don't know, but I still remember like this sound in my head.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good.
Yes, there's a lot of one. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful horse, and it's talking about like the
Yeah, he was white as snow. His eyes were black as coal.
yes.
I know that one. Very good. Magic eyes. Yeah.
Magic eyes, yes.
You did use a word that I liked. We can talk a little bit about it. This one here. Can you say it for me again?
Adolescence.
So I'm hearing you put the stress here, adolescence. Actually, maybe here, but it should be adolescence. Yes, it was here in the sense. Adolescence. So adolescence can be a difficult time for many people. And so stressing the last, make that the longest part. And if you are going through adolescence, so it is something that you can go through, then we can call you an adolescent or a teenager. Personally, I like teenager better, but both are correct.
Yes, from Katy Perry, of course.
But that one I don't know.
No?
No.
Teenage Dream.
No, I know I kissed a girl and I liked it. I know that one, but I don't know this teenager.
I don't remember Teenage Dream. Wait, I will remember later.
That's okay. And we used another word that is very nice, which is the word misconception. Now let's see what misconception means. An idea that is wrong because it has been based on a failure to understand a situation. So it's basically you have the wrong idea about something. So, for example, in our context of our conversation, I believe I said, it's a misconception that childhood is the only time you can learn a language.
Oh,
It's not what you said, but this is just an example. Yeah. And last one, I heard.
If I take some notes.
No, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Feel free to. Hopefully the people who listen to this will also be making notes.
Yes, I hope so.
And you did say something. I think you said I had 8 or 9 years old when there is a small problem here. Can you identify the problem?
Probably on head.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the word tool is
It's highlighted. Yeah.
highlighted.
Google's screwing with me. And there you go. But what would be the correction? How can we make this right?
Okay, let me think. I was?
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
Because in Portuguese, age is something that we have, but in English, it's something that we are.
We are, yes.
To be years old. So when I was 7. I am 33, and so on. I like this question here. Do you have any funny memories from your time at university?
Well, I do have, yes. I don't know, it's too funny, but I think it's something to have shame. Like one day we actually I was talking about that with my students this week, because this guy was like too tired and he probably was falling asleep in my classes. Yeah, and then I just talked about the one day that I fell asleep on a class. It was phys. I don't know how to say that. Physics. Yeah, it was on physics class. Yeah, and like the professor just saw that, but I was really, really, really good student. Okay, so I was just one on my classes that like have the can pass the year with no exam.
So you had already passed you were already done for the year.
Yes. And I just fell asleep on the classes because I was on a party on last night. And then the professor just like threw the thing we used to word on the blackboard. I don't know the name of that.
You mean, is it a marker or chalk?
Chalk. I think it's a chalk.
It's the one that you have dust on your fingers later. Is this one?
Yes, it's not a pen, it's a chalk. Okay. And
Mhm.
he just threw away on my face. And then I wake up and was really, really, really embarrassed at that situation.
Okay.
So it's not a funny thing, but like this, I can remember this like today. And I just talked about that this week.
Mhm. Well, it's not funny. Yeah, so it is
Today it's
okay.
funny, but on that time, it was not.
Mhm. Yeah, I also, in high school, I was caught sleeping twice. No, that's a lie. I was caught sleeping once in high school, and I was caught sleeping once in middle school. But that was it. I don't think at uni that happened. Chalk would be this. I don't know if this is what you meant.
Well,
Mm.
I think I never heard this word. It's nice.
Mhm. Now you have.
Yes.
And let's see the pronunciations. Let's see if I can share something cool. So notice that we have the L here, but we don't pronounce it. It's just chalk. So we go from A to the K sound. Chalk, chalk. No L. And you did use two words, and they're both very nice. They're related, but they're not exactly the same. So it's worth mentioning. We can talk about embarrassment, and we can talk about shame. And the adjectives we have embarrassed. So I was embarrassed, and I was ashamed. So they're very similar, but the intensity is different. So in the context that you're describing, embarrassed feels much more right. Why? Because ashamed would be if you did something really wrong, you know, like maybe you cheated on your partner. It's like, oh, you were ashamed. Maybe you stole money from your parents. Oh, I'm ashamed. But if you like you farted in class, oh my God, it is embarrassing. Yeah, but it's not like you did something wrong necessarily. You just did
Oh,
something. Oh, yeah, maybe it is wrong to fart in public. I don't know. I'm a boy. I'm disgusting like that. But you got it, right? So it's just the intensity. If you did something bad, you are ashamed. If it's just something embarrassing, which would be
okay, so we are talking about ethics or morality on
for
shaming.
shame. Yeah, usually, yeah. Notice I say usually because maybe you feel ashamed for something that is not a big deal, but you feel like it's a big deal.
Okay,
So
so
it might be used like
perfect.
that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they are even synonyms, feeling ashamed or shy. But usually we use ashamed for stronger things. I have this moment because, when you are, I don't know about your university, but where I went to, there were bars in front of the university. And one of them was called Free Class, a la vaga. And I remember I had philosophy in my first or second year. And I had to present with my best friend at the time. And we had to talk about Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato. And basically, we got some liquid courage before because I was very introverted at the time. I still am, but I'm better at it. So I don't need alcohol anymore. But I remember that I made an analogy comparing the philosophers with Star Wars characters. And I was
Okay.
like, I said something like, Socrates is Yoda, he's the intelligent guy, he's the powerful guy. And then came Obi-Wan, he's like Plato, still did a very good job, really built on the foundations, was really respectful. But then came Anakin Skywalker, Aristotle, and just fucked things up, and said stupid shit like, if you put old rags with sweat in the cupboard, rats will appear from that. And obviously, Aristotle created some of the good things like logic and things like that. But that's what I remember him for, like his mistakes. So it was funny. Like the people who studied with me, they still remember that day, and they talked to me about that.
Probably your colleges,
Mm-hmm.
they like this, but the professor will probably he no, he thought
He thought.
like thought. I don't know how to say this word.
You said-
What this guy is saying, yes. But I'm not a Star Wars girl, okay? So I have no idea what about you're talking.
That's okay. Then you're just telling me that your laugh was very fake because you were laughing in the middle of it. So
Like I can recognize the name Yoda because
mhm.
everyone can. So that's why it was funny.
Yeah. I mean, I passed. So, and I think I did get a 10. So I think she thought it was creative. I'm not sure. But, maybe she did.
But did you say to her about the alcohol?
Oh
The
no.
alcohol
Not at
experience
all.
before?
Not at all.
Of course not.
It was a matter more of like you could see like I was very happy to be there. Hi everybody. So, let's get cracking.
More than always.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. I just said, so this is a nice phrase. If you're going to start something with a group of people, you can say, let's get cracking. Oh, let's get cracking. Aí, bora botar a mão na massa. So that's a good phrase there. And the passive think is thought. 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 Yeah, you did pronounce it nicely.
Thought.
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 It's got the th. Thought that everybody loves.
Think thought. Yes.
Se você já se comunica bem em inglês, mas sente que a sua pronúncia deixa a desejar, falantes nativos se olham confusos antes de te responder, pedem para você se repetir. I'm sorry, what do you mean? Ou pior, fazem um bom e velho e repetem a exata palavra que você achou que tinha dito. Então, meu caro, eu te convido a conhecer o Speak American, o meu curso 100% prático de pronúncia em inglês para brasileiros. Você nunca fez nada igual e se você der a chance, ele vai mudar o seu inglês e a sua vida para sempre, assim como mudou de vários outros alunos. If you're interested, você pode saber mais em leapfuber.com/sam. S-A-M. Continue with the podcast. I put some new questions in the chat. You can pick the next one.
Question number 4. Online education just as good as attending university in person. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree. Maybe the classes themselves, they would be at the same level. I think it is definitely possible. I teach mostly online these days. And I used to be someone that was very judgmental about online education before the pandemic. I was just like, this is stupid. Skype is what we had at the time. Like and there were people that wanted to have classes online already. I was like, they don't know what they're doing. But then I was shown that I was wrong. And these days I'm a big fan of online education. So I think that the classes themselves, they could work, unless, of course, it's something very practical, like, I don't know, med school, right? Or something to do with physical touch, like, I don't know, nursing, people that do some sort of like chiropractic. So obviously there are problems with that. But I feel like university is more than just the classes, it's the whole experience, right? It's like being in a campus surrounded by people that are also learning, making friends, being part of a new environment where the purpose is education. So I think that the classes themselves, they would be fine being online, but I think people would miss so much if it was fully online. Because it's the same thing I believe is true for work. Like I miss being around work colleagues. It's good to go to the teacher's room and having colleagues there and chatting and or being approached by students asking questions. It is good. So the experience would be worse, in my opinion.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Because like my first experience with university, being a university professor, it was on pandemia. I don't know how to say this.
Pandemic. A pandemic.
Yes, so it was really bad that time because I think the wrong thing on online education, it's the system. Like the people are not ready, are not prepared to be on online classes. So the first thing they thought, it was like, oh, so probably I don't have to watch the classes and I just have to be online and I don't have like to pay attention or to learn something because probably I will got a grade to pass year, and that is exactly what happened on that time. So I think like the adolescence that was on starting the university was not prepared to be there on that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like as you said, on when people choose to be on online education, like when they choose to do English class or they choose to do another language class, like they want to be here and they want to learn something new, and like you are talking like face to face, so you are like allowed to not be here and you want to be here, so probably the system works better in this case. But I think like to when you are teaching to like younger people or people who are, I don't know, they just don't know yet exactly what they want to be. They are like just lazy too much or think they do not have to do these things. That was my experience with online education. And I agree with you as well when you are saying about the practicing things,
Mm-hmm.
practical things. I think practical things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because on my field, like field of research as well, as example, we have a lot of biological science course online, an online version.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't think, I think it was last year that the government, I don't know how to say that. Let me think. The government assigned a law that it was not available anymore to have these teaching courses like licenciatura
Mm-hmm.
on online versions, because the future professors don't have the classroom experience
Mm-hmm.
anymore, and they like the elementary I don't
Elementary.
remember. Elementary, elementary school and high school, they are receiving like two poor professors, poor teachers, because of the
Mm-hmm.
online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that now. I hadn't thought about that. I would say that, for example, my course was a good one to be online because, the technical element, you're just sitting there and talking and learning. But yeah, if it's about like you're doing some sort of internship, then yeah, I can see that. It's like being in the room. But I remember during the pandemic, um, I used to work for Cambridge University Centers. So they would have courses where we would teach teachers how to teach, essentially, right? So you show up and say, I want to be an English teacher. You do a month course. And we had those online during the pandemic, and people learn how to teach online. And, obviously people did the best they could with what they had, and I'm sure they still produced good teachers, but it was not the same experience at all. And so
Right.
something was missing for sure.
Yeah, and we have to talk and to think about the like reality like to these people who have to learn online have. Like a lot of our students didn't have internet on their house. A lot of high school didn't have internet or didn't have a notebook as well. So I think it was a really bad experience for this kind of people. But there's a really good thing, I think. I think it's the I don't know how to say this word, but I didn't wrote this on your box on Instagram.
Ah,
It's inheritance. I think it's inheritance.
that's good. Yeah.
So the inheritance of the pandemic, it's like this kind of things. You can talk with someone who's in another place, another side of the world, and you can have like English class with some native people or with some another language class. And it's just because like the people can see the online version of things after pandemic with more like normal things right now. I think it
So,
was not to accept as yes before the pandemic.
so you meant like the inheritance of the pandemic. That's
Yes,
is that okay?
inheritance.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, for sure. One verb we can use here is that it definitely propelled, right? Like catapulted certain areas. And I think that online teaching really, it was very good for online teaching. If online teaching will be good for us, time will tell. I think it is for the most part. I want to ask you, let's see, I want to ask you this as our last question, because I really like this question. It's not the one you wanted, but I like this question.
Okay.
Number two, does it matter how prestigious the university you go to, or is it just about the diploma?
Okay, on that time, it doesn't matter because actually it was near from my town. So my family do not live here on Guarapuava. My family is from Chopinzinho. It's a small town on southwest. Yeah, so
And it's
Guarapuava,
really Chopinzinho. There is like the diminutive in the city. Oh, that's
yes,
amazing.
shopping. It's like a little shop.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
And so this university, it was here on Guarapuava. It's like 200, no, I think it's less than 200, 150 kilometers away from Chopinzinho, where I am teaching right now. Yeah, so I did my undergrad here on Unicentro, and now I am professor here at Unicentro. I am teaching now. I am teaching. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm teaching now on the same undergrad course that I got my diploma.
That's pretty
Yes,
cool.
I think I didn't mention that. Yeah, so in that time it doesn't matter like the prestige of the university, but what was really good, it was that a public university, so we didn't have to pay. I am saying about my parents, of course, but we didn't have to pay to the course. So it was public, it was free, and it was with good quality, I think, because I got a good formation.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
nowadays, I think it does matter, okay? It's really matter.
Why? What changed?
I think the when like if you choose a very good university with a prestigious
Prestigious.
or
Mm-hmm.
like a good name like USP as well, you probably will have in your on your environmental gooders. I don't know how to say like more good. How can I say better? Oh my god, better professors. Yes, better professors and better like the facility to have more
Mm-hmm.
experience, I think. So like with the name of the university, you got more money to investments on the university. So probably you have better education.
True. Yeah. I I came from a small university. Yeah. So I studied at UPE. So that's Universidade de Pernambuco. So, and it was like the smallest campus. So it wasn't prestigious at all. I believe a couple of things about this. One is that it matters more for certain professions than others. So, for example, if you want to be a teacher, was my case, I don't think it really matters. Maybe if you were a lawyer, want to be hired by a good company, maybe it matters more.
Yeah,
But
I think I was thinking just on my position, like a
mhm,
scientist. So we have to have this facility to lab things, you
mhm,
know?
for sure. So I would say that I would believe, I don't know if it's true, but I would believe that in your case it would matter more than for me, for example. That said, I have read that, funny enough, if you check, they did this research in the US and they found out that, for example, if we both studied law, but I studied at a medium level university, I was the best student of my medium level university, and you went to Harvard, but you were like the 10th, 20th of your class in Harvard. So, like, near the bottom. I did better than you in general after that because of my perception of success. So the psychological aspect of like being the best in my class made me a better professional than you. You went to a better university, but because you thought, oh my God, there are so many people that are better than I am, I feel stupid. Being in Harvard, you feel stupid. So, it kind of fucks with your perception.
So it's
And
much more about the way you enjoy the university
mhm, yeah,
and then how you feel on that place.
yeah.
Like if you feel you're good enough, like you just threw the opportunity away.
Hmm.
And if you feel you are like you have to do too much work to stay on that position, you probably still like doing this way to way I don't know.
Yeah, weight on your shoulders.
Yes, to be a good professional.
Hmm. Yeah. So it does affect like that. In English, there is a nice expression, which is to be a big fish in a small pond,
Big fish
right?
and
So
small.
maybe you are the best professional in a small town where it's not that hard to be the best professional. Maybe there's just you and another person.
Yes.
But that gives you the confidence to go ahead and conquer more. Or maybe, you go to a big city and find out you don't know anything. But according to this research, it is better for you in the long run. And these days, I personally believe that it's more to do with like a first job, right? Because if you don't have any experience, then your graduation matters more, your education, because this is your experience, it's your education. But after like 5 years since you graduated, it's like, what have you done with the 5 years since you graduated? Like, it's like if you had no job, it doesn't matter if you graduated USP, you'll be like, why didn't you have a job in the last 5 years? What have you been doing?
Yeah, like just like for me, because I did master degrees and PhD degrees, so probably my undergrad doesn't matter anymore.
Quite
Do you know that?
possibly, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now, as I am professor here, I defend this university with my heart. I
Mm-hmm.
can say that, yeah, because I am trying and I'm working so hard to do to make the university better, like to make the teach way better.
Yeah. It is not because there will always be a place that is considered the best, but it doesn't have to mean that the other places are bad. And it doesn't have to be that the difference is great, right? So maybe the difference between the best university in the state and the second one is, at the end of the day, if you like the place, it doesn't matter. if you like the place, I mean, as a student, if I like the university. Personally, I hated my university. I was happy to leave.
I used to
Uh,
like it. Yes, I used to. It
no,
was a
but
good time.
by the end, I was already working, and I was just like waiting the day, counting the days to be done and say au
Really,
revoir.
I don't remember very well, but I think I used to like it. But I think in the last year, we have 4 years for undergrad. In the last year, I think we was just on like 4 people on classes.
Mm-hmm.
We are just on 4. So it was like if we are having particular classes. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really nice. Yeah.
Very good. So some feedback I can give, starting with what you just said. So when we talk about classes where it's just you and the teacher, or that feel like this, instead of particular, we would go for private.
Private, yes.
So it's like having private classes. Or maybe you're looking for a private teacher. So often people hit me in my DMs. They slide into my DMs and say, "Hey, Felipe, do you teach private classes?" Uh, and do I? You have to ask to find out. So that's one thing. So private, not public. Sorry, private, not particular. The word you asked about earlier, and you did pronounce it nicely, inheritance.
Inheritance.
Inheritance. Yeah, the stress is in the hair.
Inheritance.
Inheritance. Yeah. And the trick really is pronouncing this part as tons, tons, tons. Yeah, not tans, but tons. Inheritance. I'm gonna do in the order that I wrote, so we're gonna travel back a few topics. Earlier, I said I used to be judgmental about online education, and this is a good adjective, I think. Let's take a look at it. Judgmental. Too quick to criticize people or things. Yeah, so when I say I was judgmental about online education, it was easy for me to say it wasn't a good thing. And so studying online, what's that? That's stupid. You can be also very judgmental about a person. I was very judgmental of my brother-in-law. So we'd always criticize him, which is not true. I like my brother-in-law very much. He says I'm his favorite brother-in-law,
Mm,
so he has good taste.
but probably
Uh,
you're the one.
I'm not. But the competition is not that good. So I can't be very proud of that. You were not sure about this word, but can you say it for me?
Pandemic.
There you go. Pandemic. The stress is in the day. Pandemic. And since it's connected to this, I can also ask you how to say this.
I don't know. I think it's COVID, but I'm not sure.
No, that is a different pronunciation. Usually people just want to say COVID. Yeah. It should be COVID.
COVID.
COVID. So not vid, but vid. COVID. COVID. So the COVID-19 pandemic.
COVID.
hmm Often a course will have what we call a passing grade or a passing mark. Yeah, so maybe the passing grade, passing mark is 6. Yeah, so if you get more than 6, then you pass. If you get less than 6, you fail. I heard this word and I wanted to check it.
I think I saw. I said government, but I think the right way to say this is government. I don't
There you
know.
go. Yeah. Can you tell what is different between the first thing you said and the second?
Of course not. I
So
have no idea.
the big difference is that you deleted the extra vowel you put. Yeah. So there is no na, it's not government, but instead it's government. 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 And so there are 3 syllables. The stress is in the first. And we don't want that nah there. We don't want that vowel. At work, we have people that we call this. How can I say this?
Colleagues.
One more time.
Colleagues.
That's a very common pronunciation for people. But
Okay.
the sounds are right. I'll say this, the sounds are right. But the
Yeah.
stress is different. Should be colleague, colleagues, colleagues. So you could say, for example, I have great colleagues. My
Okay,
colleagues are
I,
amazing.
I can see a common misunderstood here, because probably like the all these words we have to put the emphasis on the first syllable, and I
Uh,
never did it. Yes, like
yeah.
colleague, government.
Mm-hmm. The thing about English is that the stress is not very standard, meaning we don't really have a great rule to explain stress. Portuguese is more standardized. Yeah, so the stress usually falls on the second to last syllable. So we like to put the stress there. English, it's
Yes.
everywhere. Yes, we say stress syllable for like syllaba tônica.
Okay. Stress. Okay.
So when I say the stress, I'm saying the part of the word that is the longest, the loudest, the most intense. And so usually, so we're using the example of the last word, colleague. Notice that I make the ka long and then league is short. Colleague, colleague, government, government. Yeah. In Portuguese, rápido instead of rapido or rapido. Yeah. So in Portuguese, it doesn't change that much, but in English, the difference is should be very noticeable. But yeah, so that's it. Stress is a very common problem.
Yes, I think I have a word. Like when I was on Canada on my exchange experience, I did pronounce like all the time wrong, and it was chocolate, because every time I used to say chocolate, and then someone stopped me and said it's not a late chocolate, it's a chocolate. Oh my god, that's it. And that's
That's
the
a
thing
good.
that, yes,
That's a very good one. Yeah, chocolate, chocolate.
chocolate, and not a late chocolate, chocolate.
Mhm. Chocolate.
Yeah.
This is a very common pattern. So I actually corrected this word earlier in class, and I corrected another one that was very similar to that, which is this one.
Consulate.
Yeah, except it's not
Oh,
consulate.
yes, it's cons.
Consulate. Let. Chocolate. Chocolate. Let. Consulate. Let. And so the Italian consulate. There is something that you said a few times that I really liked, and I guess that you know that because you are a professor, but most people don't know, is that when you study at uni and it's your first course, it's your undergrad course. Yeah, or undergraduate course. And after that, then you do your graduate or grad courses, which usually involve like master's and PhD. So it was very nice to hear say that. Now, so your first course is an undergrad course, then you graduate, and then you do the graduate courses. I really liked that. Earlier, I also used this verb here. I said to propel. Let's see what it means.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. To push or move something somewhere, often with a lot of force. Yeah, so the rocket was propelled through space. So I said that online education was propelled because of the pandemic. Yeah, so like a rocket to space. And last, we did have this word in one of the questions. Can you say it again?
Sorry.
This word here, could you say it?
Prestigious. Prestigious.
Very good. So let's see. I want the adjective. Why isn't it giving me the adjective? It's giving me the noun.
Oh, you just passed through.
I
It's
did?
on the top. Yes, you did.
Ah,
Yeah.
there you go. Okay, so you can see here, press, us. So this I here, ignore it. Prestigious. And the stress is here. I know this because of this small symbol. It tells me that the next syllable is stressed. So prestigious.
Oh, that's nice.
A prestigious school, a prestigious course, a prestigious university. So it's very nice. And you're going to see the same, I can tell you, with similar adjectives ending in OUS, like this one.
Dangerous.
There you go.
Then
So not rose, but Russ. Dangerous. So always going to be us. That's pretty much it.
yes, thank you.
Renata, that is it. Thank you very much. Agora que você terminou o episódio, eu tenho uma tarefa de casa para você. Escolha uma palavra ou frase desse episódio que você gostou e use ela essa semana no seu inglês de forma intencional. Qualquer palavra, qualquer frase. Você pode começar, inclusive, nos nossos comentários. Escolha uma das perguntas que a gente respondeu e responda você mesmo. I look forward to reading your answer.